We'll try to do this. Oh man, it looks like the camera moved. Hopefully it'll be okay. Hopefully I don't just go down right here and you can't see crap. Carrot time. Hopefully that's not too crunchy. Alright, lots to do. Lots to think about. Totally stressed out. Or stressed out. Yeah, stressed out. Time to work on some stuff. This is extra crunchy. Let's see. Create. Let's see which one we're doing. I think it was this one that I last messed with. No. Apparently it's not. Oops. Maybe this one? That's the one. Okay, so the first part I'm going to fix is this thing right here. I need to fix that because I need to switch that to cubes. Right now it's not cubes, it's octagonal or octagonal cylinders. So let's do that. That'll be fun. We need Illustrator. Make sure that's saved. We need to work on that as well. Let's go to Illustrator, which we're in. Now we need to find the planting thing. I have a lot of files to go through really quickly because I hate naming things what they are. If I was organized, I would do that. It interrupts my flow. Since I'm a person who stays in the creative brain, it's hard to stop and start thinking of names for me. And maybe that's an excuse, but it feels like it's difficult to think about names and stay creative. Like, for me, naming stuff is in the analytical brain, and when I'm naming stuff, I like all of a sudden get disturbed. Not like disturbed like crazy, but it just it makes me fall out of rhythm. At least that's the excuse. It's also my excuse for being messy. It's my excuse for everything. It's just it makes me fall out of being creative. I need an excuse not to eat this carrot. Let's see. It's awfully crunchy. It's embarrassing. I was hungry. Okay, so we're going to get these two elements from here. We're going to come over here. So if anybody ever wonders, I am using an old version of Illustrator. One, because that's what I was trained for with, and it's not because I do have the newest, subscription and crap. But it's easy to use. It's accessible because anybody can buy this copy, like on eBay or whatever, and it's cheap. As I show, it works pretty well on. It does have its problems, but it does work pretty well on Windows 10, I guess is what we're on, or whatever it is. I'm not on 11 or 12 or whatever the fudge the new one is. I'm on the older one. Let's see. Okay, so we want to change these. So this one's going to be purple. And to line it up, see, these two are green. I just got to remember that. To line it up, I'll just drag it instead of using those other ones. And then we'll change the color here. That one, and oops, that one is green. What I should have done is just do one green one and then move the other one up, and then we'll take this one off. I'll move this one here. Let's get rid of these two green ones. Slide this one up, slide this one up. Okay, so this one's a red one and a blue one. I'll set those aside so I don't forget. Slide these over here. My memory like sucks. I'd forget just that quickly. I think I would, at least. Sometimes I wonder if I just if I say stuff like that just so that I don't have to try to remember. Okay, so that's red. It goes red, blue, red, which is just like these, red, blue, red. Okay, what I want to do is make this easier to understand. So it takes, let me just make like, I'll make a thing here. This is going to be like a description. And something happened to my music. What happened to my music? Something happened to my music. And I gotta figure out what it is. It's not playing. Okay. What's up with that? Or maybe it is and it's just not very loud. It says it's playing the Suicide Boys. Let's go back over there. Let's say function. No, it's definitely not playing. What's up with that? Let's click on her. I gotta have music. I don't know what's up with this. I might have to restart it, which sucks. Go here, go create station. Let's go to the next song. There we go. That works. Maybe they did that annoying thing like at the end of a song where they put like a shit ton of silence. Oh man, I hate that. Okay, where are we at? Oh, I wanted to make a little deal so you could be able to tell how to do these actions. So we're going to put this in between here. We're going to paint it green, or a version of green. Let's go a little darker, so let's make a new swatch. We'll go a little darker with this green. Then we'll go ahead and put a black outline around it. And then we'll move this over. Okay. And then it is, okay, to harvest, it's going to be one of these. You know what? Let's make this gray. You know what? We'll make it gray. So to harvest is one of these plus a gray. So let me go ahead and create outlines there. Go this plus that, or plus a gray. Let's go ahead and we just want to give a little space. Move this over here. That plus, oops, that, which is gray. That plus that equals it equals a harvest. So, um, let's go. What do we want to do for a harvest? Let me look at the game, and it's one of these. So, it's one of these that gets flipped over. So let me see if I can remember where I've got one of those, and then I'll just do this flip over symbol. We'll do this. We'll do that. Actually, there was a small discussion that was part of today about iconography and how iconography doesn't make it easier to, like, the first discussion was iconography doesn't necessarily make it easier to understand the rules. So in other words, I'm going to put icons on it, so it should make it easier for people to understand. That's not necessarily true. And then somebody else wrote something about, I forgot what's his name. Pretty cool, smart dude. He said that what did he say? He said something like cards don't benefit. I'm very much paraphrasing. Cards don't really benefit from iconography when you can just write what it does on the card. On one hand, I agree that iconography on a card isn't the be all end all, but I've got to disagree a little bit or push back on it a little bit, because iconography on a card for me gives the language to easily understand the card, but not in place of the rules. It's a tool to use with the rules. So I would expect the player to understand the rules or reference the rules to understand what a card does the first few times or the first time, and then after that they don't have to use the rules once they remember what it does. But let's say, besides the name of the card, let's say they want to use the card. They want to play the game after not playing it for months or years or whatever it is, right? Well, then the thing is that instead of having to read the rules, if they memorize the iconography, that sometimes that will trigger what the rules are. Or it's also possible that I should put like this goes to an X. What was on that other thing? Also, if a card is universal, we need to figure out how to make an arrow that'll make it look like it goes from there to there. We'll do that. Okay, so yeah, like if you have language independence in a game, is that the way the backs look? I think I took the wrong piece. Is that having a language that is iconography can make it easier to translate the cards, so you don't have to have, like, it's cheaper printing because you can just print the cards without having to change them. Okay, so we've got that. So let's get this, ungroup it. And then we'll turn this. And maybe we can do, okay, so we'll get this thing, we'll add a tail to it. Or, yeah, here's what we're going to do is we'll get this thing, we'll make a duplicate of it. We'll take all this extra mess off of it. Extra mess gone. Be gone, extra mess. Be gone. Okay, extra mess gone. Then we'll connect these two if it's possible. I might need to, let's go object. Let's go compound path. Nope. So maybe I can do it. So I'll get this. We'll go from here. We'll try to get right on the end here. Boom. Boom, that makes it a square. A squat. This is the same size as that one since I duplicated it, you know. And then I will add a point on here. I need the point plus tool, add a point. Oops. Let me select it. And then I'll try to make a point. Ah, come on, man. Let me make a point. There we go. Then I can drag this point. I can look at it. Okay, so let's say I'll use this to make the design look like it is. Oops. We're just going to do the end here. Okay. And what if we did another 2 points maybe? Let's go plus. We'll add 2 more points. And then we'll turn it like that. And then we'll stretch this sumbitch out to make it smooth. And then we'll stretch this sumbitch out to make it smooth. Okay, this looks weird, so let's fix that. And let's make this, let's curl it around. And then let's thicken this side up because it looks like it's very abrupt from there to there on the turn. I mean, it doesn't matter since it's just me and my own work. But I'll do that. Come on, fool. Let's thicken this thing up. That's not too bad. Let's join these two. So where's Pathfind? Let's go ahead and make it where we can see the damn thing. Boom. Let's Pathfind it. Unite. Oh, expand. Okay, so cool. We made it one thing. And we can do that. We can bring this in a little bit. It still looks a little funky, but that's alright. Trying to get this little arrow to look good. Ah! Let's move this there. Go here. Maybe. It's a little funky looking. Kind of funky looking. What if we go bam, and then we need to make it pop a little bit. We'll turn it a little bit like that. We need to group this shit so I can move it all together. Move it like that. Turn it a little bit more. Do we want it this to be on top? And then we go like that. And then we we'll make this black. I find it funny when people they like your tweet, but then the thing you're asking for in your tweet, they don't give one flying F about. That's funny. Sort of. Kind of sad. Do that. Listening to some Frank Ocean. This bottom thing, what we could do is do something with the shade so that you can see that it gets thicker. It's kind of cheesy, but we're keeping it. I'll admit it's cheesy, but I'm keeping it. Okay, so it does that. We'll make it thicker. Thicker. What the hell? Okay, this is all screwed up. You're screwing it up. These are one thing. They're supposed to be all grouped. So, there, group, Control CF, so copy front. Control CF, copy front. Put that like that. Thicken that son bitch up. A little bit more. That didn't work. Oh, that's because I need to go like that and do that. And then we'll go like that. Oh, it's funky, isn't it? God damn it. Alright, we'll delete that. Sorry, guys. We'll do that. It's a little more better. We'll do that. Okay, so to turn that over to that, it takes one of those. Alright. Then let's go ahead and do the next one, which is, oops. Ha! Ungroup that. This is the other thing, which would be to, this is to flip it to X. It takes that and that. Okay, so to flip it to plant it, it takes a gray. So it goes like that. And then this one goes to the front. And then this one goes to the front of that. And that's how you go from there to there. And then how do you go forward? Okay, so it takes one and one to do that. It takes that color to, oh, okay, so we'll do it this way. We'll say it takes a green or this color. We'll go like this and this or this. Let's go ahead and create outlines so I can make this bigger. Much bigger. And it'll go forward an arrow. Equal goes forward. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab all this mess. We're gonna make it a little smaller so I have room. So I watched a Twitch today of somebody doing game design, and that was interesting. It was really interesting to watch somebody else do it. On one hand, you know, it's someone who followed me, so I knew that they kind of started doing it after I started doing it. But I mean, there's no whatchamacallit, there's no copyright or anything to it. Or I mean, it's just an idea to do game design on here, and plus there's probably someone who did it before me. I don't know, like board game design, I don't know if there is or not, but I know that I wasn't following someone who did it. Maybe maybe in the ether I saw it. I doubt it, but maybe I did. Whatever, doesn't matter. Anyway, So it's just interesting to see somebody else do it. Their proficiency in Illustrator wasn't there, and so I guess the part that got me, the part that's important to me, is that Illustrator is a tool for me. I also, I guess, probably use it as an excuse to not design. Sometimes I just like start doing the artwork that needs to be done. It allows me to continue working through maybe a what you call it, a down period. What do you call it? Whenever writer's block, but designer's block, whatever that is. It allows me to work through designer's block and feel like I'm still working. So I guess it's like a cheat of mine. But still, I don't think Illustrator, because I know it so well, is not a. It doesn't get in the way that much. Like, I don't get knocked out of creative brain, and so I mean, everybody does things differently. So I think it would be very difficult to do design and not have Illustrator as a tool, to have it more as a. It's still a tool, but a tool that you can't use very well. And I'm not saying like a tool to be able to use to do amazing artwork, because I'm not doing amazing artwork. I'm just, a lot of these assets I've already made before, and I'm just copying and pasting them and shit like that. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so maybe that says everything. So if I use a green and a green, I can move the, I can harvest this. Okay. In order to plant it, which is the P section, it'll take an I just pay one, then I place it here. Okay. So then if I want to move it, it takes a green on any one of these squares or the color of the thing, and then I can move it forward one. Cool. Got it. Yeah, I think that's all I need. Done. Let me lock it down. Lock it down. Cool. Got that artwork done. Luckily, these are all cubes, and I will figure out that shit later. All right. Yet again, something else that I wanted to look at, and that was trying to get the game a little bit less fiddly. So now that we got that, let's go ahead and save it. We'll go ahead and overwrite that. Gotta check my messages. I got the messages. Give me 1 second. This will only take a second. Talk amongst yourselves. And then let's see. I need to check that. Which is that. And that. I'm frantically checking my Facebook and my Twitter, trying to find out the future. We'll see what the future is, because of course Facebook horoscopes tell you, and Twitter horoscopes can tell you whether you're in for a bad relationship or not. So you got to check them all the time, make sure they don't update them. Joking, obviously. I hope I'm joking. No, I hope that if there's anybody listening understands that I'm joking about it. Let's see. Okay, so right now it's fiddly. I like these things a lot, and I like what they represent, because I can put it down and okay, so that's a 5 segment, what you would call it. I'm going to try it with an even thinner version. So let's do that. It's going to be interesting. Wish me luck. This is tough. Having to get rid of this is tough. I'm splurging tonight and drinking some half tea, half and half tea. Um, I should have gone full sweet. Not that I would have fucking really dug it that much, but I'm having a bad night, so why not tee it up? Like drown yourself in sweet tea so you can piss all over yourself all night long. If anybody young is watching this, enjoy your youth when it comes to not peeing at night. Being an older person, dude, I'm about sick of getting up in the night and peeing. It sucks. TMI, huh? Let's see. We're going to make these small. We don't need a backside, thank God. We can do that. I like to have the number on there so you know the size. Is that too small? What if we go like that? Big enough to put a 6 in here. Will we be able to read it? Let's see. That is a 6. Maybe I can put, okay, so I put a 6 here. And for those who read dice, we'll go hardcore tool time, man. Hardcore tool time. I can go bigger. I'm talking hardcore. You only thought I was a geek. Now I've proven it. Not like I've no, like I don't always prove it. All right. So for those who read dice, there you go. Maybe you can see that from far away. So I'm gonna make 2 of them, and if they're cool, then we're gonna go for it. Screw it. Screw it. 5. We'll move this over to make it look like a fucking die. I'm ashamed. I'm truly ashamed of that. That I'm actually making it look like fucking dice. What the fuck is wrong with me? If you don't know me, I am a self-hating geek. I come from the metal world, so I more identify myself as a metalhead, and I don't like the idea of a community necessarily, not based on your hobby or the thing you consume. I believe in I'm more of a I believe in a scene. Like I'm part of the board game scene. I like saying that more. Just because I'm a self-hating geek. And I know that's a horrible thing to have, but I'm just that way. That's just me. I'm a self-hating geek. I hate that I like such geeky stuff sometimes, and I do such geeky things, and games are so important to me, and all of that. I hate all of that part about myself. I love playing games. I love talking to other people who love playing games. There are just a couple of things in my personality that I really dislike about my geekiness. So I'm somewhat judgmental of myself. Like I try to call myself a different type of geek, which is not necessarily true. I'm just as geeky as everybody else. I just don't like Weird Al Yankovic. Like I despise Weird Al Yankovic. And I guess I lie to myself and I say that it makes me less of a geek to dislike Weird Al Yankovic. And the truth is, it doesn't mean anything. That's too small. Dropping the hard facts. The hard truths. Let's see. Maybe I can go 1 bigger. Okay, well. Okay, on one hand, I like that it's I can still read it. You know. It's not as fiddly because I could just drop that there and you know that that week is gone. I could make it orange. My default color is orange for like stuff like this because I don't have a lot of orange pieces. I could do black and just say, okay, so this week's blacked out. So let's say I had 2 6s. And let me go ahead and do one of these that's a 5. Oh, and by the way, don't take offense to anything I'm saying. I'm just kind of talking. And when you stream, you have to like not have a whole lot of silence. So I'm talking to myself. I could crunch carrots. Okay, so let's say I've got a 5 and I want to put this. I've got a 5 and a 6. I put that 6 like there, and then I put this 5 here. That kind of works. And then I put another 6 here. Okay, so let's experiment with colors here. You know how many times I've changed this fucking thing? So many times. So many times. X that, and then do that. I'm not having a spasm. I'm listening to music. I wish I could play you the music I'm listening to so that you can judge me. And you would say, you might as well be listening to Weird Al Yankovic because that's not any better. You know what I should have done? I'm a dumbass. Let's go all the way back to where I deleted that shit. Then we'll go like, we'll get rid, we'll do this. And then we'll go black. Then we'll go orange. I got that from, there's this dude who does programming videos. I think it was like programming in Cobalt or something, or something like that. And then he kept on, he was doing HTML programming, I think. HTML5 programming, and he was explaining some of the things, and he kept saying orange. When he said orange, he said orange. And in his freaking tutorial thing, I think he was purposely fucking with people and just saying orange. But it made me remember it. I mean, I don't remember the lesson. The lesson is say orange. So now when I think of the word orange, I always think of that dude saying orange. And the other shitty thing about it is Homeboy was, it didn't have his face. So you just saw like the back of the dude drawing on a fucking, I would say blackboard, but that shows my age. It's not a blackboard that it was a dry wet erase marker fucking thing. You know what I mean? So he was drawing on a whiteboard. Doesn't a 3 look like that? Yeah, it does, you fucking geek. And then we go here. Why? We'll go like this, go like that. We'll go ahead and make that a 2 segment. Okay, so I have a huge problem with stifling creativity. Like teachers, I guess because, being a creative person, I absolutely despise teachers who are horrible at instilling creativity in children, because that should be one of the easiest things to do, instead of you being creative and taking over. So, little background. I'm a geek. I'm into fucking, let's see, maybe nuts aren't that bad. These nuts. So I'm a geek, 3rd grade. I'm a decent, no, 5th grade. I'm a decent artist for my age. Everybody can see it, and especially amongst my peers who actually were little drawers themselves, that I stood out to them. Now, to the common person, I probably wasn't the best, but to them, they were all amazed. Okay, so I was still trying to find myself, And so I thought maybe I was a writer too. I thought anything creative I can do it. Not taking into account how hard it is to freaking write. So anyway, homeboy teacher dude wants us to write stories, right? So I'm gonna write a story about a dragon, some fantasy shit. I know I'm fucking a geek, so I'm doing some fantasy story about a. I don't know what the story is, and about a dragon, and of course it's all complete dude. So it's like dragons killing and war and some kid version of Game of Thrones, I guess. I don't know what it was. It was. Oh, so also I was into metal, so it was gruesome. Anyway, so I do this story and I show it to my mom, and of course, like I suck. Like I suck at spelling, I suck at grammar, I just suck. Okay? I can't one of the reasons I would never be able to write alone, I would need a ghostwriter is because of that. Anyway, so I go to my mom and I ask her to help me because you were supposed to. It was part of the assignment. And what does she do? She rewrites like the whole story. So I turn in two stories. I turn in one about a stupid egg and a princess, and another one. Oh, I don't think it had a princess in it, but fucking mom shit. Some, and then some story, the mine that was brutal and definitely you could tell the difference, right? So my teacher like made some weird comment to my mom. It's like, "Oh, you can tell that he had two minds doing it," or something, just to let her know that like obviously she did it. She didn't care. She got to be creative, and like had I had that been a teacher that rewrote my story, I don't know that I could have stayed a creative person. It would have made me. It's like it'd make me feel less creative because they're creating on top of me. And so this is the thing that I say about like design. If you're going to show your design to people, find the right people. If you have enough confidence, like I do now, if I show a person a design and they say they want to design on top of it or redesign it and shit, like I don't care what the fuck they say, but it does make me feel angry towards them because I'm like, why can't you just be cool? Be cool and take somebody's work and help them become better at being them by just asking them questions. Hey, what do you need help with? Or how can I help you design better or whatever? Not, I think this needs that. Some things that are helpful are, I couldn't understand the game, or this game is way beyond me, or I understood these things, but I don't understand this. So that way, as a designer, you can be like, well, maybe I can come up with a better way to explain it or whatever. I've been bitching about this for days. I need to learn to shut the fuck up. Because this criticism is about the same shit as it's been all week. All 3 weeks. It's funny because I'm upset about the idea that somebody else probably would take this information they're giving him and crush their originality in their design. Well, is it doing it to me? No. I just don't think they did it well. So it pisses me off. It pisses me off quite a bit, as you can tell. It just I guess I just advocate, or I want to advocate for the designers always. Um, I don't want. Okay, so my story is when I first started designing, and I've probably said this 1,000 fucking times, is that I tried to show all my friends my design, and everybody tried to design it. Like I said, okay, so here's my design, here are my ideas. Check this out. What do you think of the design? They might say it's okay, but or whatever. But what it was is like, I'm gonna use your design as my way to be creative. I hated it. It made me think that I was going to be alone, or like, which is fine, but it made me think that just you can't really design alone, because I took it like, everybody's going to always want to put their 2 cents in. And at the time, I was barely learning how to design. I didn't have a voice. I didn't have confidence. I knew I wanted to design something, and I designed something that had all kinds of shit in it. It was an extremely huge game because I just put all the ideas in it. I didn't know any better. I was learning my craft. Um, anyway, at some point I was lucky enough to show it to Brian, and I always say this to all my friends and everybody, like, Brian's the first one who listened to what I had and asked me questions about what I had and helped me work on what I had, not why don't you add this. And it helped me so much. So now I get ticked off whenever people help that way. For me, I'm sure I've done it too. I try not to unless you say, "Hey, help me design," or "Can you design this?" or "This is impossible to design." And then, well, then, fuck, you're giving me a challenge. Now I'm gonna work on it. Or how would you design this? Yeah, fuck, give me that shot. I'm into this like, okay, before I change subjects, um, it's strange to be passionate and hate a certain way of somebody doing something when it doesn't affect you, in the only in the fact that you hate it because you're worried that it'll make other people less creative. Like in the board game world, I want to see more creativity. I want to see more weird shit. Of course, I want it to be good, but my version of good is interesting and works, and maybe deep at least. Complex, I would rather say, but deep is fine. I like to think. Yeah, so look, check this out. I think I'm going to do these. The only. Okay. This sucks. You put it out there, and you're like, wait a minute. Well, maybe. Okay, so I'm worried that why don't I just put numbers on each segment? Maybe I could get away with not doing it and put like 1, 2, 3. I really don't want to do that. I just want to say the length of it. And then you would say, okay, so how many squares is this? This can go here. That's 4 squares. There is a disconnect now between, like, okay, so here's the thing. Let's say I want to use a 5. I put a 5 out here. Maybe there's a slight disconnect. Feels kind of like there is. Then I'm going to say, like, let's say I'm going to put a blue out there. I'm going to put a 5 blue. So I put the blue out there. Then I put a green as well. So I put these two like that. And then I get this one and this one. And then we play it over here. We say we're going to, with these two, I'm going to do this, which would be to get a red agave. Okay, and then these two would come back. I haven't done this part yet. And it would be something like, like boom, boom, when they come back. Yeah, maybe. Maybe this is cool. Maybe I'm making it more difficult than it needs to be. What if I had? Let me see these that lock. Oh, okay, not this one. Let's do. Put this one back. My thing is that I'm trying to make it not difficult to play. So that's there. So you already know. Son of a bitch. We'll do some black ones and see what they do. See what they do. Because it's all about ease of use. I'm trying. Okay, so let's do a 2. And then we'll do a 1. There it is. And then let's go here. Okay, so on this one, we want to do a 7. We got to do a 7 version. We'll do something like that. Just down. Put this a 7. Delete that shit. Let's go ahead and switch colors. Let's go ahead and go orange, or we'll go black. Then we go orange. If we do that, why doesn't it have? Oh, did I fucking 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, it was right. Let's go take it back. Son of a bitch. Sorry, I was friggin' out. 7. Okay, so what are we gonna do here? We are going to figure out a color. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna lock that shit down. Get some space. How do you not know that's a 7? Because it looks like an 8. No, it's a 7. Starting to sound schizo. Do we do that? 5, 6, 7. Okay, with these, I need to know a color to go to, because we have those. We could do just a gray. It's kind of boring, but if we did white and don't like it. Let's see. These. Let's do this. Let's go. Okay, that's not bad. Yeah, we'll do that. I made a decision. Game time decision. Get these. And it's I think it's this color. This color. Do that. Then we'll do this and finger blast that son of a bitch. Then we get here. Alright, so these are the new segments. Great. Let me go ahead and save this. All right. Then I'll copy this, put a new one, paste it. Just a warning, in 5 minutes I will check my social medias. Just a warning. Just a little warning. Replace. Pissing everybody off. I'll probably stop in 5 minutes and then come back. Or, you know what I need? We're going to fucking build a be right back sign. Yeah. Okay, so there was this dude. He was like a young dude, and we were playing. We were teaching these dudes how to play. Oh, here it is. I forgot what it was. It was a card. I think it was like Concordia or some shit. Something that had cards in it or what. No, it wasn't Concordia. I don't know what it was. It was something. We were teaching him something that had cards in it. And he came from the Yu-Gi-Oh world and Magic. And homeboy was like flicking the cards back and forth in his hand. Like he was like flipping them like he would if he was playing like Magic or something, trying to intimidate somebody else. And he was like, yeah, yeah. And shit like that. It was funny, man. So I think about that sometimes. I'm like, yeah. Why not be annoying? Here's something stupid. I was thinking about okay, so I used to be a guitarist and I used to play guitar. I guess I sort of am still a guitarist. I don't play guitar anymore. I used to. And death metal guitarist. Been playing like death metal like my whole life. I say whole life since I was about 8 or 9 or so. I was there death metal infancy and we were trying to learn to play death metal and it was my thing, okay? And we tried to make a band and we could never find a drummer. Death metal drummers are hard to come by, and if you live in a small town, more so. So, there was a thing that we were always working against, is finding a drummer. There's been a couple of times where we actually did find a drummer, but in general we couldn't find a drummer. So what we decided to do was use a drum machine on our demos, and we used a live drummer on another one, and we were going to pay another drummer to do it. And then finally we just decided, you know what, I'm going to play drums. I went and bought a drum set, the start of a drum set, and then went on this drum journey. I'm not great, but I'm a death metal drummer, I'd be playing them drums. Forgot the point of this. There was a point. What was the point? I was not just trying to flex about playing drums. There's the 6. Hopefully I saved the 7. There it is. What was it I was going to say? It was something related to something. So what happens when you're old? Your brain don't work, especially if you have as little sleep as I get. Brain don't function very well. Let's do a 4. There we go. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. fudge is the 3? There it is. Yeah, what was it? What was the important story about me and music and drums? Come on, what's wrong with you? Let's go to the 1. All right, it's been over 5 minutes. I'm probably going to stop for oh no, we're going to build a be right back sign. That's what we're going to do. Or okay, so what's better? Be right back or just fucking stop the stream and put a part 2? I'm leaning towards part 2. Okay, so that's that. So you'll just say bam, this is like that. This one's like that, and this one's like that. What do you think? It's not dark enough. It's not dark enough. Okay, so then if I want a 5, I do that, and then another 5. So if I'm looking from across, like so, can I tell what's going on? Son of a bitch. I'm not liking this. I'm looking from over there. This was better. Like here I am over here. I'm looking over there, give them that side eye, see what they're going on in their fucking thing. And no, it's not working. Son of a bitch. Alright, so we're going to fix it in a minute. We're going to fix this bullshit. Let's go ahead and start fixing it. Son of a bitch, that upsets me. Son of a fucking bitch. Just makes me want to throw shit. Actually, it doesn't. I'm just joking. It does suck, though. It does fucking suck. That's not too bad. So we'll save that. Let's go ahead and go new segment 2. Suck ass. Take it off of that shit. Okay. So I'm hating the way I'm naming stuff, and I'm gonna start another folder within a folder. I'm gonna incept this bitch. So let's do it. Bam. Time to incept this bitch. We'll do another one. We're gonna do Inception. Sweet. Not investment. I totally fucked up the word. I don't give a shit. It's not going to be important later. Okay, so in here we'll do 01. No. 07. Boom. Then we'll get rid of that. We'll save that shit. We'll call that 07 because we're replacing that one, so we won't have more fucking files than we need. Then we'll get rid of that. Then we'll do this. Then we'll do that. This will make it a fuck ton faster. We'll do 6. Save that shit. Get rid of that. Do that. Ah, you son of a bitch. Save that. And then we'll put that as a 5. What the fuck was I going to talk about drums, you know? But just a word of advice while I'm thinking about it. If you just started an instrument, you suck. Just admit it. You suck. It's good. Admit it to yourself. You suck. Should you record yourself and act like a badass? No, you shouldn't. You suck. I'm telling you from experience, I suck as a drummer. I mean, I can play a little bit. I'm way out of practice, so I suck really bad right now. If I have a lot of practice, I'm decent for a death metal drummer only. I can play a little bit of other stuff, but I need to be in a band situation so that I can use my discipline to get me past the hurdle of being old. Um, anyway, so because I used to play guitar for a long time, sometimes I hear guitarists um, do like podcast intros and exits and stuff. And there's certain things that like you can just hear it on an amateur guitarist, and it sucks. And I think, okay, so I think we're so used to the idea that we can do everything. We can get on YouTube and we can do everything. And we totally like forget that there's a reason why there's experts in fields, and they're way better at doing whatever than you, because they've actually spent a lot of time trying to be good. So like, um, don't do it yourself unless it's really about you and expressing yourself. Don't do it just because you want to be cheap. If you can afford it, pay for someone who can actually do it, or pay to take the lessons to learn to be good. Don't assume that you're going to be good just because you use YouTube. It's great to have an actual teacher because they can sit with you and help. What a teacher does is get you further quicker. Now, it could be a hindrance once you get past a certain point. It's like you can take an extra 5 hours to do some plumbing that takes someone who knows what they're doing a lot less time. The only reason I was ever cheap like that and did work myself is because I couldn't afford it. I didn't have the cash to hire a plumber, so I'd have to learn how to do it and do it myself and go through all the problems, but I saved a few bucks because I didn't have disposable income, I had disposable time. And it's great to learn something new, but that would be okay if I kept that skill, but of course I didn't keep the skill because I'm not a fucking plumber. I totally respect plumbers and the stuff they do. And if I had the cash to pay for a plumber, I totally would have. But of course, I'm not completely stranded now. I mean, I can do things. I don't feel like, um, if a pipe busts or something like that, I'm not gonna feel like a damsel in distress or anything. I'm gonna fix it, or I'm gonna pay someone to fix it, but I'm not gonna freak out. I know that's like not that bad. But if I've got the money, I'm gonna pay someone to do it that's an expert. And they're gonna do it in a lot less time, and the work is probably gonna last longer. Like, have you ever had a busted like water line, and it's a reoccurring issue every year during a certain part of the year? Whenever it gets a certain amount of temperature, it's gonna bust that line. That wouldn't happen every year. It's like a layaway system if you don't know how to fucking be a plumber. You basically, I fix it every year, and in 5 years, it's going to cost what that plumber could have done the first year, but I couldn't afford it the first year, and he won't let me put his services on layaway. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about. All right, so I'm going to stop right there. Um, because I think it's better to stop than to put a coming back soon kind of thing. If I was going to take a potty break, maybe, but not even then. I don't think it's a good idea. And I hate saying the word potty. It's kind of stupid, but whatever. See if I can figure out how to turn this damn thing off. And I'll be right back.